His MVP. That's one. Right field. Forget about it. Rangers strike first. Goes after the first one. Drills a high fly ball. Left center field. This game is tied. From Javier. Seager hits a high fly ball. Deep right field. A bomb into first. One swing. Drive. It's tied. Seager smashes the ball down the line. Goodbye. Now Seager to right center field. Way back there. It's gone again. Corey Seager does it again. It's Texas Rangers win the World Series. The Willie Mays Most Valuable Player Trophy presented by Chevrolet. Is there any doubt? Corey Seager.
Hi, and welcome to another edition of Right on Rangers Live, coming at you in the 8th inning of yet another tight ball game. Rangers tied 1-1 with the Athletics, and we have got Robert Garcia into the game to pitch. 1 out, now 2 outs. Got a ground out from Gio Urshela. Lawrence Butler just flied out. Rangers trying to take this one to the bottom of the 8th with a tie ball game. There have been some opportunities today. How many times have we stranded the bases loaded today? Are we on 2 right now? It's painful. Painful. Like, we all said it yesterday. Can we save some runs for today, please? Can we save some runs? We scored 15 yesterday. Can we save a few for Wednesday's game and Thursday's game at that? Oh, my goodness. It's consistency, y'all. That is the magic word, consistency, with this Rangers group. Still looking for it. Tell you what has been consistent, though, is the pitching. Nate Eovaldi, my goodness, 6 innings pitched, 1 earned run. And the earned run kind of came a little bit cheaply on that bunt by Wilson. Look, really savvy way to manufacture a run. I think I'm jealous because we can't do it well enough. Like what the A's did to Nate Eovaldi in the 3rd inning, getting that run across, scraping it by. That's what you got to do sometimes. I'm glad to see the Rangers go into small ball a little bit more. You saw Leote bunt. You've seen them play the small ball game a little bit more of late, but hey, I'm all for whatever you got to do to push across a run at this rate. 1-1 ball game. We got a 3-2 count right now. Jacob Wilson up to bat. He's 2 for 3 on the evening. Sure would be nice to go 1-2-3 here. Bottom of the 8th coming up, and the Rangers are going to have Marcus Semien, Josh Young, Adolis Garcia. We're going to get a fly out here from Jacob Wilson. Robert Garcia able to jam him a little bit, 85-mile-an-hour slider. And we're headed to the bottom of the 8th. Man, I would love to walk this off with y'all on the live tonight. Would be awesome. I just need us to get out of this series with at least 3 wins. Like, okay, you've tied it up 1-1. We all said, can we get a sweep against the A's? We've got to be more competitive. We got to be winning ball games against a team like the Athletics. Sweep is hard, but 3-1, I think at minimum needed to be the standard for this series. Got to get it done tonight to have a chance at 3-1. Appreciate all y'all hanging out. Absolutely prayers up for that Cubs-Pirates game. There was, I think, a Pirates fan that fell from the stands, had to get carted off. So, Ben, absolutely appreciate it. Brad, I agree. We have issues manufacturing runs. I'm glad to see that they're willing to sacrifice with Leote. Something that I meant to tweet out during the game. I wish that they would have taken this approach with Leote a lot sooner. What I mean by that is it feels like they were really hesitant with Leote to make him a small ball player. They really, for a long time, let him just hit away in situations like the one that you saw earlier tonight. And it just got me thinking, if they would have had the approach with Leote a little bit sooner, contact hitter, steal bases. I know that this isn't super true this year, but play a good defense out in center field, have a good glove out there, and manufacture moving runners over, manufacture runs. Had they taken this approach with Leote, I think since the beginning, maybe we would be seeing a different ball player right now. maybe all of our attitudes on Leote would be a lot different, but it felt like they really forced the idea of Leote being this big game player coming through with the big hit, even hitting from the bottom of the order. Like last year and the year before, it's not like you've seen Leote Taveras be Mr. Small Ball. And I feel like if they would have gone to that strategy with him sooner, we might all have a different opinion of him. All right, first of all, y'all know the drill here at Right on Rangers. We cover everything sports, but we put a big emphasis on all the teams we love from the great state of Texas, including the Rangers, and especially the Rangers during the MLB season. Thank you so much for choosing Right on Rangers for all of your Texas Rangers content. Drop a comment, drop a question. I will get to it in good time. I'll start actually looking at it right after the intro. Appreciate all of y'all. The comments and questions keep the show fresh. I'm grateful for your support of the channel. Share the live with somebody. If you know you got a diehard Rangers fan that needs to be in on this chat, please share it with them. Would love to keep growing this great group of people we got talking ball, talking Rangers baseball. Love y'all. Marcus Semien in a 2-2 count right now. Semien Young, started off, what was it, the 6th inning with back-to-back singles, and we were able to do nothing with it. Marcus 1 for 3 on the night, does have 1 strikeout, average up to 182, and that is a positive, as much as 182 sounds terrible. Marcus going to take a splitter low. Really good eye from him. I mean, look, I know he has not had a great start to the season. I feel like his ABs have been better, Marcus Semien's have. I know that there's a little bit of Semi talk going on in the chat right now. Look, if you just are cherry picking the box score, it's not going to go great. But Marcus takes a walk right here. Really quality at bat from him. I like what I'm seeing from Jock Peterson and Marcus Semien recently. I think the at-bats have been better. The exit velocity has been up. Marcus works a great walk there. I mean, you look at that AB, Marcus is down 2-2 count, down to his last strike, works back-to-back balls and gets the walk. Love it. So we got a runner. And we've got Josh Young up to bat, 1 for 3. Had a single his last time up, takes ball 1. Holman into the game right now. Actually, he's on pitch 21. So we got into the A's bullpen. Severino pitched quite a long time. He got 5 innings. It felt like he was going a lot more. 93 pitches, though, for Severino. Had to work really hard in some of those innings. Those were some long innings for Sevy, but he pitches 5, only 1 earned run. The box score doesn't look terrible. 9 base runners in 5 innings, though, not great for Luis Severino. Josh Young out to a 2-0 count here. Come on now, Josh. Hey, there we go. Little single. Josh Young, hello. 2 for 4 on the night. Let's go. Nice single into left field. Marcus Semien advances to second. Not the hardest hit ball, but just found a hole. 80 miles an hour off the bat. So a little seeing eye single from Josh Young, if you will. And we've got runners on first and second here. Adolis Garcia up to bat. Dolly really, I thought, had a pretty bad AB last time up with runners on, what was it, first and second? There was 1 pitch in Dolly's last at bat that actually was a strike, and he ends up striking out swinging. So 1 pitch was in the zone, and he got Dolly going down on strikes. He takes strike 1 here. A nice pitch, low and away. And when I say away, right there on the plate on the outer half. So 0-1 for Adolis Garcia. Look, he's had a pretty good game. It sucks when you're having a good game and then you come up in a clutch moment and it just doesn't go according to plan. But Dolly's got 2 hits on the night. He's got an RBI. He had a clutch 2-out RBI, if I might add. So I want to limit the amount that I'm going to get on Adolis for that AB in the last time he was up in the 6th inning. Look, anytime you can clutch up with 2 outs like Dolly did in the bottom of the 4th inning, you got to start looking at other guys in the lineup. Dolly clutch 2-out RBI. He can't do it all. But I would have liked to have seen a better at bat from him in the 6th. Dolly is down 0-2 quick. Took a timeout, and he fouls off the very next pitch after the timeout. A splitter that did definitely catch the zone. So Dolly still 0-2 here. And just keep the runners moving. Just productive out here. Deep fly ball in the right center gap. Give me something that gets the runner to third base. I mean, look, ground ball right side might be a double play. That wouldn't be ideal. Give me something in the air, slightly to the right. Ball one here. That fastball wasn't even close. I do think, Cam Jack, what's good, man? I do think AG is in a great spot. I think Adolis is in a sweet spot in the 7-hole. I don't think they need to take this game. Hey, let's move him up. He went 2 for 3. He had a couple hits. Let's move him back to the cleanup spot. Please don't. Just leave him right where he is. I think this is a great spot for him. I have to agree. Have to agree with you. Brad, I'm with you. You have to score here. Absolutely have to score here. This is the same scenario, Jonathan. Same as the 6th inning, man. We need a different result. We need a productive out. This is where you got to keep it simple. We need a productive out here. A base hit would be great. A home run would be phenomenal. Just give me a productive out. Hey, that's all we're asking for here. Dolly in a 1-2 count at the moment. Been fouling off a little bit. Sharp line out to first base here. So Dolly's not going to be able to get the productive out thing done. Look, 93 off the bat, 94 close to. I mean, hit it hard. Didn't get what we were looking for. Got to put the ball in the air there if you're Adolis Garcia. Just got to get that runner over to third however possible. Now we're going to have Jonah Heim up. Jonah batting 276 on the year, 790 OPS, having a nice game. He's going to foul off a splitter right down the middle. And I mean right down the middle. I don't know if maybe he was not expecting Splitty there or expecting meaty Splitty, but that thing was right down the middle on Jonah Heim. Fouls it off. He's going to be in an 0-1 count quickly here. Appreciate all y'all hanging out. I'm going to make sure I get to the comments as much as I can. Yeah, I agree. Adolis, he did well, and at least you racked up the pitch count a little bit, but you missed some pitches that you probably should have handled, and Adolis not able to advance the runners. It hurts. Jonah Heim is going to fly out here. This keeps getting worse. I mean, Jonah Heim flies out, foul territory. Yeah, Soderstrom comes over and makes the play. So, Rangers, what a promising start. I mean, I don't know what to do. I don't think anything different I would have done. You're not going to bunt with Adolis. It would be a prime spot with the bottom of the order to bunt at this point in the ball game, bottom of the 8th. But you're just not going to bunt with Adolis, right? I mean, it would be nice if you had an Evan Carter or somebody on the bench that maybe could bunt. That's different. I mean, right now, the options on the bench, Ahmed, Pilar. I mean, you would really have to be getting a little bit ballsy to pinch hit Dolly there to bunt. I just don't know if that would be the right move, especially with Dolly having a couple of hits today. Look, we're just throwing out different situations, right? I'm not saying this is what I would have done, but the only alternative there with Simeon and Young starting off on base, you maybe could have subbed Pilar for a bunt. Maybe. And it works out. You've got a defensive replacement there. Adoli's pretty good out in the field, but I'll take Pilar out in right field. I don't know if I'm doing that, but you only need one run right now. I don't know what y'all think about that, but this is not going great. It is up to Leody Taveras, 1-2, 1 for 2 on the day, 1-0 count right now. Leody did put down a beautiful bunt earlier on in the game to get runners over to second and third. See what he can do here. I would love to see him come through. I know we're hard on Leody, but I couldn't be cheering for him harder at this moment in the game. Appreciate all y'all hanging out. Harrison, what's good, man? The amount of bases loaded, no-out situations that we failed to score in is unreal. 100%. I'm 100% with you there. Leody quickly down 1-2. That looked like a pitch that he probably should have been able to handle. I know that this splitter is causing a little bit of trouble for Rangers hitters, but Holman keeps putting this splitter in hittable places. Like Jonah Heim got one right down the middle, fouled it off. Leody, this one's middle in, fouled it off as well. Leody fouls off a fastball that probably would have been a strike. Looked like it was right on the edge and right at the top of the zone. So it's still 1-2 right now for Leody. Appreciate all the comments. D-Stone, I don't know if the hitting is the worst in the league, but it's up there for sure. It's up there. Leote fouls off another one. So look, quality AB for Leote. Here's what I consider a quality AB. If you get to see 6 pitches or more in an at-bat, it's quality. Now, of course, you want Leote to come through here, but I've got to say, I've been pretty impressed overall with Leote's ABs tonight. Yeah, it would have been great if he could have come through in the 6th inning. It didn't work out. There's some guys tonight that don't have hits. Jake Berger, what a flop he was in the 3-hole tonight. Maybe he'll come through in the 9th inning, but big time flop for Jake Berger in the 3-hole. He's had some ugly at-bats. He really has. Leote's going to strike out on a nasty splitter in the dirt here, and it's going to end the 8th inning. We're going to the 9th, and it's going to be up to the top of the order. At least you've got Wyatt Langford and company coming up, Josh Smith. I might pinch hit Berger at this point. I don't know if they're even considering that. I might go ahead and pinch hit Berger. Berger is about to achieve golden sombrero in a second here. His at-bats have been terrible tonight. Look, maybe you could argue Berger's due, but before I criticize a bunch of other players tonight that didn't come through, like Leote and Adolis back-to-back ABs there, look at Jake Berger. I mean, Jake Berger has left, I think, 5 runners on base tonight. 5 runners on base. And they move him up to the 3-hole. I get it. He's been swinging the bat a little bit better of late, but I can't say I love the move. I don't love Jake Berger in the 3-hole. I know that they're limited with Corey Seager. Just felt like there's other guys you probably could have put in there. I'd have rather hit Josh Young 3-hole tonight. I don't think Berg needs to be up that high. I get he's been on a little bit of a tear recently, but nevertheless, Berg has not done well tonight. That's got to be the first guy you look at in terms of blame. Ultramodern, you don't want to pinch hit Berger? Okay. Look, for me, if Berger had had better at-bats tonight, I wouldn't say pinch hit. Wouldn't even think about it. But with the way that he's been swinging tonight and approaching, Berger's taken, I think, 2 called strike 3s tonight. I mean, 2 called strike 3s for Berger. The at-bats haven't been good. So Ultramodern, I don't see no way, home run threat or not. You don't need a home run right now. That would kind of be my argument. I mean, maybe if the bases are empty, you leave Berger in there hoping for a solo shot. I don't know. I'm thinking about it. I don't think Berger has done anything to deserve being above getting pinch hit for, especially tonight. So for me, everything's on the table. And by the way, Robert Garcia is still in. Looks like Soderstrom's going to lead off getting on base here, unfortunately. So we've got a line drive single to center. And the A's are in business. Pinch hit with who? How about a number of different guys that are on the bench? You got some lefties on the bench. You got Harris on the bench. Why not? Dustin Harris ain't swinging a worse bat than Berger right now. Throw Dustin Harris in there. I don't know. The argument that Berger is so superior to some of the guys we got on the bench right now, I don't really get it. I'm not sure what evidence there is. I'd rather Dustin Harris at this point than Jake Berger. I don't like what I'm seeing from Jake Berger in this game. Maybe he's due, but they're definitely seeing Miller. They're definitely seeing Miller. I don't know. Y'all want Berger over Dustin Harris? Am I way off base? We got one person that thinks I'm crazy. Y'all want Berger over Dustin Harris in the 9th? Maybe it's situational. I give the rookie a shot, man. Berger has done nothing in this game where it's like you can't bench him no matter what. He's looked terrible. We'll have to agree to disagree, Ultramodern. Berger's looked terrible in this game. If he hits a game-winning walk-off bomb, please rub it in my face. It's not going to hurt my feelings. 11 left on base is nasty. 100%. Dane, I'm with you. I would get a trade moving as well. I would get a trade going. I don't think they're going to do it till a little bit sooner towards the trade deadline, but I'm definitely thinking about a bat. I know that there were some people that clapped back at me like the lineup's going to be fine. That's what they told us last year. They told us last year the lineup was going to be fine. We had a nice game yesterday, 15-2. Totally pumped on that, but we got to have consistency. I'm not counting on this lineup to consistently hit. I want to get another bat in the mix. I don't care who it is, preferably one of the 3 guys that I mentioned on the live last night. Regardless of whether you think those guys are attainable or not, I want to see those guys, and I want to see the Rangers go out and get somebody that's actually splashy. Carson Kelly, nice player. Nothing against Carson Kelly. That's not a splashy move. Albert is with me at least. Burger out. I mean, I don't know. Hard pass on Ozuna? Why? I mean, I know there were some people talking about the culture. Hard pass on Ozuna. I don't get that at all. Dude's hitting over 300 and rakes. Probably one of the best hitters in the league when he's going right. I don't know why you would be hard passing on Ozuna. Ultramodern, you and I are not on the same page tonight, but that's okay, buddy. I still love you. Blaine Krim has been on fire. I think they said that they're looking at AAA, right? They said they're looking at AAA. So we'll see what ends up happening. Strike one, by the way. We got Luke Jackson in the ball game. Get your barf bag ready, some of you. I know we have a lot of Luke Jackson truthers, but we also have some Luke Jackson haters in the chat. And I think it's going to get a little louder on the hater side. Luke is giving up a big-time bomb here to Brent Rooker. Oh, my gosh. That hurts, y'all. That hurts. Oh, Brent Rooker, man. I think 108 off the bat is what I saw. Thing was mashed. Thing was absolutely mashed. Here we go. And this is what you get. You know, you waste a really good start from Nate Eovaldi. You go 1 for 11 with runners in scoring position. Painful. You waste bases loaded multiple times. I think Luke Jackson is unfairly going to get some hate tonight, but he's not the reason. Justin, I'm totally with you. Like, Luke Jackson is not the reason we lost this ball game. It's going to go down that way, but the reality is we should be up about 5 or 6 runs right now. In some ways, it's a good thing. I think that it's going to spark change sooner, and the change does need to happen. It's a Band-Aid that needs to get ripped. We've talked about this, I think, multiple times over the past 3 or 4 days. There's so much sentiment with the guys that were with us in 2023. It's time to start moving on from some of the 2023 guys. It is. Leote is probably first on the chopping block. As decent as he's been over the past 2 days, you can get better. You can get better. So I think that a loss like this, while super depressing, deflating, frustrating, is going to spark change quicker. I'm kind of with you a little bit. I know some of y'all don't have the usernames, but basically the comment says, how do we expect to be a winning team with Luke Jackson as our closer? I know Luke is going to get some hate tonight. And look, that's not an ideal home run given up, and I'm putting it lightly. But I still say add some kind of bullpen arm. We've talked about Ryan Helsley. You got to add a bullpen arm at some point. I don't think that Luke Jackson is the answer. I don't think he's the worst. I wouldn't mind seeing him in the 7th inning, the 8th inning. I would rather have another closer. All right, we got something we agree upon tonight. CY got to shake it up. Ultramodern, yes, sir. Absolutely agree with you. Yeah, May starts tomorrow. We've seen what we need to see. Right. For some of y'all that told me over and over that it was too early, it's too early, it's too early, it's early. Have we seen enough? Have we seen enough? This offense is not good. And I'm tired of they'll come around as an excuse. Shea Langoliers is going to serve one into center field, little ground ball single up the middle. Kurt's up to bat right now. Luke Jackson's still in the ball game. Imagine they're just going to let him finish this one out. Really, really depressing. I mean, Evo just was filthy tonight. 6 innings pitched, 1 earned run, 8 Ks, ERA down to 2.11. Filthy. Doesn't deserve this. Just does not deserve this, man. Give Evo another inning. Give Martin another inning. Maybe that's what they should have done. Scott, appreciate the comment. Maybe that's what they should have done tonight. Evo was at how many pitches? He was at 92. I mean, yeah, I think there's an argument that it would have been nice to have Evo one more. But honestly, you got the ball to your guys. You got the ball to Martin, to Garcia. I know that some of us are halfway out on Luke Jackson, but you got the ball to the right guys. And I just feel like at this point, you got to keep the focus on the offense. Yeah, look, when Seager gets back, I agree. He needs to be hitting 3. I don't think he's going to be hitting anywhere beyond 2 or 3. I'd like to see Seager come back and hit 3rd again. I thought that was a perfect spot for him. I've been lobbying that for multiple weeks now. They finally did it last Tuesday on the day he got hurt. I would love to see him come back and hit 3-hole. Everyone thought Chapman was bad. Roger was good. Nah, this guy Jackson is hot dog water. Woo! Tonight, for sure. He had a nice little run there after blowing opening day. He had a nice little run, like 7 or 8 saves in a row, but he's looked a little shaky of late, and it's going to be tough. You got Mason Miller closing this one out. I mean, look, maybe somebody barrels one up and gets lucky. Rangers do have Langford Smith coming up. Not super hopeful about Jake Berger against Mason Miller, but you've got a prayer. You've got some guys that can drive the ball out of the ballpark. Maybe we end up getting lucky. Who knows? But I cannot say my confidence level is at an all-time high that this game is going to go the Rangers' way. So the main culprits tonight, Berger, 3 strikeouts from the 3-hole, 5+ left on base for him. Not great. And then Wyatt Langford has had an off night tonight. 2 strikeouts himself. We're going to have runners on first and second here. Luke Jackson walks somebody else. So I think you got to focus on the top of the lineup, right? Josh Smith, he's looked pretty good tonight, hitting a walk, but Langford and Berger 0 for 8. When 2 guys in your top 3 go 0 for 8 with 5 Ks, yeah, not good. Not good. We keep going here. Appreciate all y'all hanging out. Let's see. They need to get better additions to the team. Look, I'm with you. I think that they need to add somebody at the trade deadline. Caden, we've talked about this as well. I do think that CY, with some of the different things that he's mandated, some of the discussions that the Rangers have had internally, I do think you're going to see the Rangers start putting aside feelings and just start doing what's best for the team. I think last year the team was fighting that, not wanting to, really rip the Band-Aid off some of the struggling players. You had a lot of sentiment from 2023 among fans, even among coaches and ownership. And you didn't want to believe that some of these guys weren't going to return to 2023 form. And so I think now you're a year in 2024 plus a month and a half into this season. I think now you start saying it's time. It's time to move on from some of these guys that are not producing. And I'm not saying that all of them are going to get replaced. I think there's going to be a lot of guys that end up sticking around. But I do think there's going to be maybe 2, maybe 3 guys that eventually find themselves without a starting job. And we'll see how that shakes out in the coming days, weeks, months. But for me, a shakeup has to happen. Luke Jackson, by the way, kind of having a meltdown right now. He has walked 2 batters in a row. This game is not totally unreachable, unwinnable at this point, but Luke is just having a tough time turning the page right now. We got 1 out, and JJ Bleday just walked, so we are going to see Urshela if anybody gets on after that. Butler, we'll see what happens. Mound visit right now, though. Yeah, Zach, I'm not super confident the offense is going to push across 2, but I'll take a 2-run deficit over a 5-run deficit, which is what it's about to be if Luke Jackson doesn't remember how to pitch. I know Luke is going to get a ton of blame tonight. It just happens with closers, but it's a 1-1 ball game, y'all. This has been a terrible night up at the plate. 1 for 11 runners left on base. Scoring position was 1 for 11, excuse me. Just terrible. Just terrible. Langford has left 2 runners on in scoring position with 2 outs. Berger, same thing. Berger's left 2 runners in scoring position with 2 outs. Peterson's left 1. Leote's left 1. A lot of runners left in scoring position. Adolis actually did well. He's got a 2-out RBI. I can't blame Adolis. I got to look at Jake Berger. I got to look at Wyatt Langford, guys up at the top that have multiple runners left on base in this one. And the guys that need to be coming through for us. We already got rid of Jackson once. I'm with you. We couldn't hit a beach ball right now for some of these guys. For some of our guys up at the top, yeah, look, Wyatt Langford hitting 303, Josh Smith 307, Josh Young even 293. Like, we've got some guys that are actually hitting pretty well, but then we've just got some black holes, man. Like, some serious black holes in this lineup. Sean Armstrong is going to replace Luke Jackson, man. Embarrassing outing from Luke. Look, I think that they're going to have some discussions about Luke Jackson. I feel like everybody else has been really pretty solid. It's not ideal with Robert Garcia starting off with a walk there. I do think in Luke Jackson's defense, there's a small argument to be made. Just let Luke Jackson come in with a clean inning, right? Just let Luke Jackson come in with a clean inning, nobody on base. We know that Luke plays with fire a little bit. I know that you're trying to go lefty-lefty with Garcia and Soderstrom there, but there are some pitchers that like having nobody on base when they come in the ballgame. For me, I think you have to balance that out a little bit better. I know you're trying to match up, but at the same time, some guys prefer to come in fresh, nobody on base, nobody out. We'll see what happens. I say don't bring Luke Jackson in a non-save situation. He's like 0-3. Yeah, there is something about Luke Jackson in a tie ball game that just has not worked out. Armstrong coming in, and he's going to get Gio Urshela looking at strike 3 pretty much right down the pipe. So maybe Armstrong can get us out of this. Look, I know we're all down on the offense, but this is a huge at-bat coming up here. Mason Miller, very, very good, but he can be taken deep. If we can get a little bloop and a blast, tie ball game, you never know, y'all. So I'm not giving up quite yet. My confidence meter is not over 50%. Let me put it to you that way. But I have to say, you get out of this inning right here. I can't catch a break. Oh, my goodness. What a game, man. We've seen some walk-offs here at Right on Rangers Live. What a game. This is probably the worst game I've ever been on live for. Lawrence Butler just hits a grand slam. Nighty-night. 7-1 A's. Probably the worst game I've ever been on live before. And look, the bullpen, they've been nails most of the season. Luke Jackson, I know maybe there's an argument to be made. He's probably the odd guy. Armstrong, he's actually had quite a few solid string of starts. But what an ugly, ugly outing from Luke Jackson and Sean Armstrong. Tough spot for Armstrong there. You can't give up the grand slam, man. Josh Forrest cannot come back soon enough. I know he's got a while. Finally, this inning ends. Finally. We've got Wyatt Langford, Josh Smith, and Jake Berger coming up. Look, this is, I think there's some beauty in the ashes, if you will. Losses like this put the onus on the offense. Look, they win this game 2-1, whatever, 3-1. Nobody is really getting on the offense too much because you won the ball game. I think that losses like this continue to put pressure on the offense, and the offense needs more pressure. I think that you expedite changes with games like this where your starter went 6 innings, 1 earned run. I told y'all, what was it, a couple nights ago, Chris Young Being a former pitcher, dude knows the pain of going out there, throwing a quality start, and your offense is completely nowhere to be found. You know that this is killing him, watching Nate Eovaldi, his boy Nate Eovaldi, go out, throw 6 innings of 1-run baseball, and the offense is just nowhere in clutch situations. We've got 9 hits tonight. That's not terrible. 9 hits, that's nothing to scoff at. But you know this is burning up CY. You know it is. What a game. What a game. Colby, I'm with you. At least we had a Stros loss tonight. And I haven't even looked at the scoreboard, so I hope you're not pulling my leg. I hope that's true. Astros, what was the score of that game? 7-4? Okay, good. You never know. Sometimes I look too quickly, but I'm glad to know 7-4 was the final there, so at least Houston loses. Seattle did win. They're 18-12 now. The Angels were who they were playing. Mike Trout left with an injury, I saw. Angels dropped to 12-17. So with a loss tonight, I think that the A's would pull back to even with the Rangers. Can't believe we're going to split a series with the A's, man. We lost a series to the A's, and now we're going to split with them for no reason. For absolutely no reason. Juan, I'm with you. We were joking at the beginning of the live. Thanks for the comment, bud, by the way. We were joking yesterday. Save some runs. I was being dead serious. Save some runs for tomorrow and the next day. Scoring 15. 7-1, y'all. Wyatt Langford up. Ferguson in the ball game for the A's. Strike 1 to Wyatt Langford. Going to take a miracle, but we will ride this one out to the bitter end. Kyle, I am assuming a win tomorrow. I know that's a lot to assume. Tyler Mahle on the bump, though, right? Tyler Mahle on the bump, I'm hoping. Is that right, y'all? Day game tomorrow. I saw that. I hope we can get the split. My goodness. Cody, appreciate the follow, by the way, man. Thank you. What is it going to take to get out of this mess? Making some changes. You've got to bench some guys that are not performing. Get crazy, make a trade, stop counting on this offense to return to 2023 form. We saw an entire year of this offense not playing well, and we all kind of hoped, prayed, and wished that maybe 2024 was just an anomaly, a terrible year. In 2025, all these guys were going to turn it around. We've got to stop wishing, and we just got to start making moves. Got to start making moves. Wyatt Langford in a 2-2 count right now. Nobody on, nobody out. Wyatt Langford leading off the bottom of the 9th inning. Call up Osuna, call up Carter. I think they're going to call up some AAA guys here in a second. I think they are. Jake Berger, unless he does something super special, he's going to be 0 on the night. 3 Ks from the 3-hole. It's too bad, man. Like, you put Berger up in 3. He's been having a good stretch of games, and you've got to lay an egg. You just have to. And even if he gets a hit right now, you have to do it when the game is totally out of reach. So what? So even if Berger ends this night 1 for 5, dude, you failed in the most important situations already. It didn't work out tonight for Jake Berger. Not saying he's a bad player, not saying he sucks, not saying we need to DFA him or trade him away, but it hasn't been a good game for Berg. We keep going. Let me see here. I'm not even upset with the bullpen today. This shouldn't have even happened. 11 runners left on base. Rolando, absolutely. This dang team is driving me nuts too, 28 Relics, 100%. 100%. Berger gets hot after the All-Star break. Cameron, appreciate the comment. Man, do we have to wait till the All-Star break? Is that really true about Jake Berger? Josh Smith grounds out, by the way. Rangers down to their final out here in the 9th inning. It was just 1-1 like 10 minutes ago. The heck, man. Literally was 1-1 10 minutes ago. 7-1 in a blink. Rangers down to their final strike. Berger swings at a sweeper pretty far off the plate, continuing the theme of the evening for him. Takes a timeout here. Bad night at the plate for Jake Berger. Jake Berger hits the occasional dinger with 10 bags of K's to go with him. It feels like that right now. TPD, I'm with you. Like, it feels like you're getting one big blast from Berg here and there. Like, when he makes contact, like, he hits the ball 105 plus. But when he ain't making contact, it ain't going well. You got to hit the ball. That's step one. And literally, y'all, Jake Berger takes the strike right down the middle. Four-seam fastball right down the middle. Ultra modern, like, I hate to say I told you so if you're still hanging out. But come on, man. I told you. Like, you could have put Dustin Harris in this ball game at this point. Like, Jake Berger just took strike 3 right down the middle. Come on. Like, golden sombrero for Jake Berger. I think that is his third strikeout looking. Third strikeout looking of the night. It's ridiculous. I know the game's over, so it's not like it really matters whether or not they pinch hit Jake Berger, but, I mean, dude looked lost. I told y'all. He looked lost. Like, you're taking strike 3 right down the middle. Dude, what are you doing? I get the game's over. That is the third time that man has taken strike 3 tonight. Not even swinging. Yeah, Sam, I can't say we suck. I think that the Rangers, there's a couple of different factors here. First of all, there was way too much. I think we can say this confidently now. There was way too much hope that it was going to be a quick turnaround in 25. You were going to have guys that regressed in 24 get back to at least somewhat close to the version they were in 23. And that just hasn't happened. So I think there was too much belief that there was going to be a big turnaround with some of these guys. And then some of the acquisitions that you made just aren't working out so far. Jake Berger's not working out. Jock Peterson, he's been having some better ABs of late. Had a single today. Would have liked to have seen what he could have done in a tight ball game if the Rangers could have got to the 9th inning in 1-1. I actually like how Jock is swinging the bat and what he's doing up at the plate right now. But look, Jock's hitting 108. You got off to a super slow start. The other thing is that the Rangers, according to the ESPN RPI, which kind of ranks strength of schedule, I put a video out on this today. The Rangers have played the toughest schedule in the American League. They played the toughest schedule in the American League to this point. So I think that there is something to it. I think we all have an opinion of the A's as being a sucky, terrible, god-awful team. I think the A's, and I've said this a number of times, I'm not just being prisoner of the moment. I think the A's do have some quality players on their team, and I think they're going to give some teams problems this year. There's a reason why they're not starting out like the Rockies. They've got some good players. I think the Rangers should have won this series 3-1, if not swept it. But they are not performing at the level everybody thought they would offensively. I think there's a number of different other things you can point to as well. I've tried to do that, but you're not hitting. And that's what it comes down to. Hey, what's up, my guy? Jake Berger not making us Jake Burgers look good. Hey, it's kind of crazy. I've always thought about that. It's crazy the Rangers bring Jake Berger to town. That's something else, man. Shoot, you could have gone up there, though, and maybe done just as well as Jake Berger did tonight. Hey, I appreciate that. I appreciate you got a little love in your heart for the Rangers, man. Thank you for tuning in as well. Great to see you. Go follow this guy, by the way. I'm going to throw him up for the YouTube, Facebook, X. Great follow. Does a lot of hilariously funny videos, man. Does a lot of commentator humor. Doing a lot of different good stuff right now. Go follow Jake Berger right now. Awesome guy. Appreciate you stopping by, man. Thank you so much. This team is finishing last in the division. No leadership, no drive. We deserve better as fans. I can't agree with the last part. We deserve better as fans right now. We deserve better as fans right now. I don't think we're finishing last in the division in the AL West where you've got the Angels. I don't think that the Rangers are going to be this bad offensively forever. And I think Chris Young is going to be making moves sooner rather than later. I really do. And in some ways, like I said, losses like this expedite the process. You win this game 2-1, 3-1. It's a lot tougher of a sell to make big changes. We're winning, right? And that was the big thing early on that a lot of Rangers apologists, we're all Rangers fans here, but there's some people, some Rangers fans that will defend the team no matter what, never will speak negatively of the team. We don't have a ton of people like that are following me. I think most of y'all are pretty level-headed like I am. We're going to call that out when it sucks. We're going to be elated when the Rangers do something special, but we're not blindly following all the team's moves, right? It feels like most of y'all are like me in that way. Maybe we've got a couple of people here and there throughout the chat, throughout the following, that doesn't ever want to talk negatively about the Rangers. But I think that when you're winning games 2-1, 3-1, it's easy, especially for guys in the clubhouse, to say, hey, we're winning, don't mess with it. So I'm kind of glad that the offense doesn't get off the hook tonight, because the offense would have gotten off the hook with a 2-1, 3-1 victory, and now they don't get off the hook. Now we potentially have an expedition of changes, and I'm for that. I'm for it. The Rangers lineup did make J.P. Sears look like prime Barry Zito, and Brady Singer, looked like a Greg Maddux. Seriously, it's a great quote. We're making mediocre guys look amazing right now. And what sucks is we have World Series caliber pitching. I know y'all have been watching DeGrom and Evo Deal paint. These guys are painting masterpieces right now. This is World Series caliber starting pitching. Rangers, by the way, in their starting pitching rotation, the best whip to start a season in franchise history. Whip, walks, and hits per innings pitched, by the way. So basically, the Rangers have never had a better start in the starting rotation in regards to base runners allowed. Isn't that crazy? This is World Series caliber pitching getting wasted. And like I said, Chris Young, CY, being a former pitcher himself, he is not going to let the offense be the reason we don't go far, we don't make a deep run in the playoffs this year. He did it last year. He tried to take his hands off. It's going to get better. Let me go ahead and add a Carson Kelly. But I think this year we're going to see the big changes. We cannot have a 2024 repeat. I do think Evan Carter is going to be coming up. My one question with Carter, he's not hitting lefties. All of his good stuff is coming off righties. So as long as you're good with Evan Carter basically being a platoon guy, I got to be honest, I was kind of hopeful that Evan Carter would go down to AAA and actually be better hitting lefties and really work on that. It doesn't seem like he's really accomplished that, but I don't know if you can hold him down any longer. Like, you're looking for any kind of spark right now. I really do wonder if we see Evan Carter sooner rather than later. What did he do today, by the way? Did Round Rock play today? I think they did. It was an early game, huh? Yeah, it was early. I was getting updates during the workday today. So let's see how he did. Box score on Evan Carter, little Evan Carter watch. Zeke Duran was 3 for 4, by the way, at AAA. Carter was 2 for 5. Okay. Blaine Krim hit a bomb today. He was 1 for 5. Was it a grand slam? Nice. Blaine Krim hit a grand slam today. So look, Carter, Krim, Duran batting 1, 2, 3 for Round Rock today. All those guys are hitting the ball well. Foscue is still hitting 304. I do think we see Carter sooner rather than later, especially with how the offense is going right now. 28 Relics, I'm with you. Infuriating game, no doubt. You left 11 guys on base tonight. Disgusting. Dan, appreciate it. Dan the man, great comment. And I said this as well. I do think the team lacks a little bit of leadership. You had Adrian Beltre for a decade, and not quite a decade, right? But you had Beltre for 8 or 9 years as the leader of that club. They are missing Adrian Beltre leadership. They are. I'm sorry, Corey Seager, love that dude. You can call Corey a quiet leader, a leader by example, and that's great. On teams, I do feel like you need vocal leaders. You need the guys that lead by example like Corey, and not everybody can be a vocal leader. That's not everybody's cut, but I do think the Rangers are lacking a voice. And you've got Jock Peterson, who is definitely kind of become known as the hype man in the clubhouse, the guy that's a little loud, a little vocal. But when you've got Jock Peterson hitting 108, we talked about this about a week ago, it's hard for Jock Peterson to get in guys' faces. Like Beltre, you were always getting pretty consistent production from him. So Beltre could pretty much get in anybody's face. Dude was a first ballot Hall of Famer. Of course. But right now, you don't really have anybody that can do that. I think Marcus Semien and Nate Eovaldi, I think those guys are probably the guys you look to the most for leadership. But I do think the Rangers need more of it. I do. Do we see a move after tomorrow's game since it's early? Perhaps. I was actually thinking that, does CY make some kind of move tonight? Infuriated? Does he make a move? Do we see Evan Carter come up? And if Evan Carter comes up, I got to imagine Dustin Harris is probably going back down. At some point, you don't need all these outfielders. So I do wonder if D. Harris ends up going down if they bring up Evan Carter. I think that's probably a pretty simple move that you can make. For me, if you're not playing Dustin Harris right now and you're playing Leote, that really tells me all that I need to know about what they think of Dustin Harris. Dustin Harris, to me, you should have been playing tonight. There's no reason, if Dustin Harris is better than Leote, that Dustin Harris doesn't play tonight. Maybe you make the argument that Leote had a 3-hit game, so he gets another day just de facto, but I think that Dustin Harris, he hasn't gotten as many at-bats of late. He was kind of starting to get some starts there, and now it's trailed off. I'm not going to be shocked if they just do a Carter-Harris swap. I would like to see more of Dustin Harris. So, Ian, I'm with you. Ian's comment, please, Dustin Harris shows more grit, shows more effort. I'd like to see more of Dustin Harris, but my point is, I don't think the club wants to see more of him. If the club wanted more Dustin Harris, why do you keep starting Leote over the past few games? Go Dustin Harris. I don't know. I'm not overthinking it. You've had plenty of opportunities to start Dustin Harris, and you're still going with Leote. So that's why I'm coming to the natural conclusion. He's probably the first man gone if Evan Carter does get the call up. Personally, I would rather wait on Carter and not have to call him up this early. My thought was always mid-May, early June. Just give him a big runway down in AAA. And like I was saying earlier, my big thing with Carter, you kind of sent him down to AAA so he could get right against lefties. That was a part of it. That was a part of what they said when they demoted him after spring training. They wanted him to get everyday experience, and a part of that was lefties. And I don't think he's got a single hit against a left-handed pitcher down at AAA. I might be wrong on that. If he's gotten a hit, it's one. I looked the other day at the splits for Evan Carter. Don't think he's collected a single hit against a left-hander. I think he's something like 0 for 15. So that is the one thing that concerns me. You put Evan Carter down at AAA to get everyday experience, to kind of get things right and tweak things against lefties, and it's not going great in that regard. But the offense at the big league level is just not going so great overall that you might not have a choice. You might not have a choice. Yeah, I'm with you, Brad. The lineup needs to hit better, and I do think we need to have somebody else in the closing role. Luke Jackson, he had a nice little run there after blowing opening day, but I do think it's time to put Chris Martin in the closing role if you're not going to go out and get somebody else. It's a little early for a trade. Little early. I don't know if we're going to see a trade happen in May. I could see a trade in June. I don't know if you're going to see a lot of trades in May. Maybe. But I do think you need to put Chris Martin in the closing role. I know that he hasn't done it a ton, but at this point, I think Martin would do a better job than Luke Jackson. 28 Relics. I like Dave Raymond and I like David Murphy and I like Mike Baksick. I agree they could be a little bit harder on the Rangers at times, but there are some realities to it. And I know a lot of y'all feel this way too about the commentators and about the Rangers beat writers. I know that I've had my times where I've said this out loud, but a lot of these guys have to travel with the club. Some of the beat writers don't have to, but I'm pretty sure Dave Raymond and David Murphy and Mike Baksick, all these guys got to travel with the team all over the place. So you really have to be careful. You don't want it to start getting awkward in the workplace, if you know what I mean. If Dave Raymond and David Murphy and Mike Baksick start ripping everybody a new one, then you got to go sit with the team on the private plane on their next road trip, and it's just frosty. So I personally am never mad at the home announcers. They got to be careful. Now, the reporters, the media people, you're not traveling with the team in a lot of cases. I don't think that all these guys that cover the Rangers are on the Rangers private jet to and from. They take a lot of their own flights. I don't think that's as big of a deal. You know, Raymond and Murphy and Baksick got to travel with the team. I can expect them not to be too negative. For me, it's the reporters. I want to see some of the reporters be a little bit more aggressive with the questioning at times. Ultramodern, I might agree with you here, although I just think the hype with Wyatt Langford has always been so high and so strong. It's just hard to put Wyatt in a secondary role when he so clearly appears to be one of your top hitters. But I do think Wyatt's pressing a little bit right now. Now, look, he's still hitting over 300, but I think there is something to be said that Wyatt is pressing a little bit. 28 Relics, I'm kind of with you. Now, I will make an exception. I do think the Cowboys media presses a lot harder than the Rangers media. And I know we don't have all Cowboys fans in here. Y'all know I'm a Cowboys fan. I think the Cowboys media does a lot better job pressing on the Jones family than what the Rangers media does for Chris Young, Bruce Bochy, and all them. But I do think, by and large, the DFW media could ramp it up a little bit. Yeah, I will say this. I do think that the players are getting paid handsomely. It's part of the sport. Like, you're taking criticism from fans, from media, and you're also collecting, you know, a 6-figure or 7-figure or 8-figure paycheck. I mean, 8-figure, I guess, is maybe more if you're Shohei Ohtani or Juan Soto or those guys, but you know what I mean. Like, criticism is a part of it. That's why I always find it a little bit rich when players clap back at fans so hard, or clap back at guys like me, podcasters. Like, bro, you're making literally what I make in 10 years, in 1 year of playing baseball. Like, at some point, dude, just play the game, shut up, and tune it out. Let people yap. Like, that's the whole part of being a fan, and that's a part of your job, tuning out the noise. You're getting paid handsomely to play a child's game. That's why I never get when the players get up in their feelings when they get criticized in the media. Dude, you're getting paid so well. Like, tune it out a little bit. Look, y'all are pretty nice. Although we do get some trolls in the chat. Y'all have seen that happen. And when I do NFL coverage, like when I cover the Cowboys or the Longhorns, I get a lot more trolls in the chat. And I get people coming at me from all sides trolling me when I do Cowboys posts, when I do Longhorns posts, that I had so many Ohio State people in the comments when I would put out anything Longhorns related. I had so many Georgia fans clapping back at me in the SEC championship game. Like, football is a little bit more aggressive, but you know what? I've accepted it's part of it. You're going to get trolls who are coming down on you, criticizing you, whatever. So I'm kind of with you, Caden. Like, at some point, guys got to get over the criticism. Yeah, Eric, the series with the Mariners starts on Friday. Home series in Arlington against the Mariners. Hate for the Cowboys is on another level. That it's Longhorns and Cowboys. I swear I get the most trolls and the most haters covering those two teams. Rangers, you know, we get some random Stros fans in our lives sometimes. Y'all have seen it. I mean, look, we kind of squash them like little bugs and move on, but it comes out in full force. You got to be wearing a little bit of a tough shell when you cover football. I'm just throwing that out there. But you know what? When I first started doing this, it affected me a lot more when people would be lighting it up with me in the comments. But now I got to admit, it just kind of rolls off. It really does. Man, TikTok is making me do this verification. I am never going to not talk about it. It's the most ridiculous thing ever. All right, I passed. No one does respect Jerry Jones. That's true. This is a good little plug for me. Let me be selfish for a second, y'all, okay? And then we can get back to ripping the Rangers a new one. But on the channel, during MLB season, it's almost all Rangers. If something crazy big happens in Cowboys world, Longhorns Nation, I'll pop a quick video on or I'll do a live for it. But if you're a fan of any of the other teams in DFW, I don't do a lot of Stars coverage. I'm a very casual hockey fan in that I don't know the game super well. I love watching it, love watching hockey, especially playoff hockey, but I don't know the game super well. I'm not like a big time hockey enthusiast either, so I don't feel super comfortable analyzing and commenting. Baseball, I've been around the game forever. Football, same thing. Some of y'all have caught on, but I've coached baseball and football at various levels throughout my working professional career. And look, nothing special, but I've been around both games for a long time. Feel very comfortable talking about them. Hockey's kind of a little bit different, but really any of the DFW sports. So Mavericks, love talking Mavericks, Cowboys, Rangers, and then, of course, casually the Stars and any other college team. I don't mind talking SMU, TCU. Grew up with those teams right in my backyard growing up in the DFW area. Longhorns are the team that I cover. Grew up loving the Longhorns. If you like any one of those teams, would love to have you along whenever we start shifting towards coverage of football and all that good stuff. So there's my plug for the show. Evan Carter did get a hit off a lefty today. Okay, good. Good. Like I said, though, if there was a hit, I did say if there is something, it's probably like one hit or two hits. So I'm glad he finally got a hit off a lefty today. That is phenomenal. Let me see here. I just got to verify this. I'm amazed. Okay, so the starter was a righty. So he didn't get a hit off the starter. The next guy in was a lefty. Okay. Wow. Okay, then. Bench Burger. I don't know if they're going to bench Burger, man. Like, I do think that that's going to be on the table if Burger cannot consistently figure it out, but I don't know. Yeah, absolutely. That's awesome. Learn to love the game. I love the game of baseball. Loved it my whole life. Appreciate the comment, man. Thank you so much. Little Savior back in business. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Is Boch done after this season? It kind of depends, I think, on how the team goes out. But no, it wouldn't surprise me if Boch hangs it up and Skip Schumacher becomes the next guy. I'm with you. I probably would not bench Burger, but I'm not hitting him top 5. I like Burger in the 6 spot, 7 spot, one of those. We might need to do a side-by-side on Josh Young and Roger Maris. That'd be interesting. I can picture Maris. I need to see a side-by-side with Josh Young and Roger Maris. He hit a lefty. Call him up. Seriously. He hit a lefty. Unlock it. Call him up now. Prime Hambone was legendary. Hambone's my favorite Ranger of all time. The real ones, the OGs that have been following Right on Rangers forever, y'all know this. Prime Hambone, my absolute favorite Ranger of all time. I don't know if Maddox is going to be the guy. I think he could potentially be, but I think they hired Skip Schumacher to be the manager in waiting. I really do. A lot of people have crazy good things to say about him and his experience, expertise, his baseball mind. I think he's going to be manager in waiting and take over for Boch. What changes do I think are coming? Mike, appreciate the comment. I think Evan Carter's coming up. I think he's coming up. I think that's the obvious first move to make. Maybe you consider Blaine Krim, who's hitting really well at AAA. I think it's probably those two guys. I think Zeke Duran, as good as he hits in AAA, I don't think you're bringing up Zeke Duran to make a meaningful contribution. I do think Blaine Krim and Evan Carter are the AAA guys that you think about bringing up. I think those are the two obvious choices. Blaine Krim really hasn't gotten a great look. I don't think he's gotten any kind of real extended look. He got called up, though, didn't he, at some point? Or has he never played a game in the majors? Feels like we've seen him, but maybe not. Maybe never. Let me see. I should know this. I feel bad. No, he's never had a major league at bat. Okay, thank you. I thought maybe did he get like a weird call up at some point, but no. Blaine Krim has never had a major league at bat. I feel like at some point you got to give him a shot. Last year he hit like 270, 275, had 20-ish homers. I feel like Blaine Krim's got to get a shot eventually. Yes, Ian, I do see Harris going down if Carter comes up. And if you bring up Blaine Krim, I don't know who you're going to send down. Leote? And Leote might be a DFA if you're bringing up Blaine Krim. I wonder if Blaine Krim is on the 40-man. I don't have the 40-man roster memorized for Texas. Let me look at the 40-man right now. It's been a while since I pulled this up. Okay, so looks like Krim is not on the 40-man. So you would have to... Is he? Hang on. Infielders? No, he's not on the 40-man. So if Blaine Krim came up, you would have to DFA somebody. So it would have to be Leote probably getting DFA'd for Blaine Krim because Krim is not on the 40-man roster. So I think Carter probably goes up and you send down Dustin Harris. And then I think Leote gets DFA'd if they bring up Blaine Krim and have to make a move on the 40-man. That's a better call. Roger, good call. Good call. Ahmed probably getting the DFA. That is a good call. I think they would probably DFA Ahmed over DFAing Leote. Much to y'all's chagrin, I do think that's probably the move. Walcott is doing pretty well, but I just don't think he's going to make the jump from AA up to the majors. I think you're going to move him up to AAA. I don't think he's killing it enough in AA to say skip AAA and come play Major League. Only reason Leote was playing tonight in center was to get the most starts in center field in Rangers history. Can y'all believe that? Leote has the most starts in center field in Texas Rangers franchise history. That's why when we say, I tweeted this out live during the game, that's why when we say Leote has been given the longest runway to succeed as one of our former top prospects, this is what we're talking about. The man has started a franchise record 463 games in center field. Plenty of opportunities. I would love to see them keep Harris on the big league club, but can you give him chances? Like, that's my thing with some of these players. Like, you call up Dustin Harris to make him ride the bench? Let the man play every day in AAA if you're going to call him up to ride the bench. I don't know. I just don't love calling up these young guys and then we're not actually going to start them and give them an opportunity to show us what they really got. So all of y'all that are saying, like, call up Walcott, if you're going to play Walcott every day, absolutely call up Walcott. If you think he's ready and you're willing to give him a starting role, I wouldn't do it this early. But with any of these guys, Blaine Krim, Evan Carter, I want to see these guys get near everyday playing time. Otherwise, keep them in AAA where they play every day. Not being able to field the ball in center, Leote Taveras we're talking about, it first of all boggles my mind. Second of all, frustrates me to no end. Steven, appreciate you. Hey, this is a good time. If you're not following yet, hit that follow or subscribe button, please. We do this almost every night. So if you like what you're seeing right now, you love the back and forth, hit that follow button. And if you're on TikTok, if you're on YouTube or Facebook, share a video from Right On Rangers, one of my lives, one of my reels. Share a video with somebody that you know is a diehard. I would really, really appreciate it. Let's keep growing this good group of people we got talking ball, talking Rangers baseball. I love it. Love it. Bro, we're making a move. The offense is cooked. Yes, sir. G-Man, are the ticket prices going down? I don't look at Rangers ticket prices because I can never go to a game. I only go to games that are on the road. And look, I went to World Series Game 1. Y'all know that. I'm going to humble brag about that for the rest of my life. I was at World Series Game 1, 2023, Corey Seager. High drive. It's tied. I was there. I won't stop bragging about that. But nevertheless, don't make it back to many games in Arlington, maybe 1 in 2 or 3 years. But I do go almost every year when the Rangers come out to the West Coast. And I'm pumped for when they come out to Vegas when the A's move there. Ahmed would be the DFA guy. Totally. Hey, good game. Proximity King. Good game, brother. We'll see what happens tomorrow. Rangers trying to get the split. A's going for the series win. That would suck. A's win this series. I think Seager is back this weekend, Andy. And Mike's Mike, I'm with you. Keep Harris. I would love that. I can't believe the defense hasn't improved for Leody Taveras either. Zach, what did Evan Grant say? And this has got to be one of my last things, y'all. I got to get to getting and get off this live. Zach, what did Evan Grant say? How did he press Bochy? We had a comment on TikTok. Somebody was saying Evan Grant, Dallas Morning News, was pressing Bochy a little bit in the postgame. Spill the tea, Zach. Come on now. Type quicker. Yeah, I don't think that Corey is going to do a rehab assignment. He really has never done one. So I would think he's either back Friday night when he's eligible, or I would think he misses the weekend series and maybe he's back on Monday or Tuesday. All right. I got to preview tomorrow's game, and then we got to get out of here. So tomorrow, Tyler Mahle? Yes? Mahle tomorrow would make sense. I, for whatever reason, don't know this. Usually I'm all over like every single pitching matchup, guys. I don't know what's happening to me today. Yes, Tyler Mahle will be going up against Jeffrey Springs. Hello, former Texas Ranger Jeffrey Springs. Lefty. This should be interesting. We're probably going to make Jeffrey Springs look like freaking Randy Johnson tomorrow. Oh, man. These former Rangers just seem to love playing against us, don't they? So we'll see what we got here. Preview. So against Tyler Mahle, let's start there. The A's against probable Ranger starter Tyler Mahle tomorrow's game. Only 2 guys have professional at-bats against Tyler Mahle. Rooker, who is 1 for 3, and Urias, who is 5 for 13 against Tyler Mahle. Nobody else has an at-bat. Against Jeffrey Springs, Nick Ahmed 0 for 1, Berger 0 for 2, Garcia 1 for 6. Jonah Heim has it looks like a plate appearance. I don't know if it was a sacrifice or what. No hits, though. Higgy is not going to play, hamstring tightness. Josh Young, 2 for 3 with a home run against Jeffrey Springs. Wyatt has not faced Springs. Peterson, probably won't see Peterson tomorrow with a lefty, but Peterson's 1 for 2. Marcus Semien is 6 for 13 with 3 home runs against Jeffrey Springs. Go ahead and press that Marcus Semien home run prop bet tomorrow. Marcus Semien, 6 for 13 against Jeffrey Springs with 3 bombs in his career. Josh Smith, 0 for 2. All right, so here we go. Zach, you said he asked if the starters' efforts have been wasted by the offense. Okay. He looked very uncomfortable when asked. Look, he doesn't want to throw guys under the bus, right? Bochy is not trying to throw anybody under the bus. But it's true. They're wasting the starters' efforts right now. They are. There's no way around it. Justin Semien actually had a couple of nice ABs tonight. I know that Semien and Peterson have become the punching bags. I got to say, I'm liking the ABs I've been seeing from them lately. Yes, I agree. Dog water, terrible start for both of them. But Marcus Semien, nice single in the 6th inning, worked a nice walk in the 8th inning. I really do feel like he had some quality ABs tonight. All right, y'all. I got to get out of here. I really hope it's not a Jeffrey Springs legacy game tomorrow, Zach. I really hope not. Tomorrow is not a night game, Eric. Tomorrow is a day game. And then Friday night game when the Mariners come to town. Skeens tomorrow for the Cubbies. Shoot, Steven. That doesn't sound too great for the Cubs, but that offense is pretty solid in Chicago. Maybe they'll get to the legendary, the man, the myth, the legend, Paul Skeens. All right, y'all. Hey, Justin, appreciate the gifts, man. Thank you so much. Appreciate all your comments too tonight, bud. Guys, like I said, hit that follow or subscribe button if you're not following already. And if you want to follow me during the games, I do post live on X, Facebook, Threads, and Blue Sky. I'm just trying to hit everybody that I can. I don't really have a preference on one app or another. If y'all want to follow me during the games, you want to go back and forth a little bit, I will post probably anywhere from 10 to 20 times during a game, commenting on different things as they happen. So if you're on one of those socials, head on over. It's at Right On Rangers, just like it is on TikTok and everything else, at Right On Rangers. Follow me if you want to do some in-game chat. We definitely will always do the lives for the most part after every game, but if you want something in-game too, there you go. Love all y'all. Thank you for the comments. Have a great rest of your Wednesday. Day game tomorrow probably won't be live right after the game. Probably you'll go live sometime in the evening. I do have a day job. I treat this one like it's a real job. Maybe one day it'll get there, but probably won't be live right after the game, all right? Hey, go Rangers. Go Rangers, man. We'll hopefully get that split tomorrow. Make Jeffrey Springs look a little foolish. I sure hope to be talking to you guys tomorrow after a dub and a series split. Have a good night, y'all. As I always say to end every show, God bless and go Rangers.